How are we, YouTubers? I know it's a bit dark. My battery's a bit dicky on the whole Merc. I need to charge it fully. I've had it go flat on me twice, so I'm not taking the risk of turning on the light that I might go inside. Anyway, so I'm at Dallas, which is a suburb in Victoria, right next to Broadmeadows. And we've taken possession of this property, and this young girl was in there. Now, she was originally a tenant to the original tenant who was renting it and paying rent to them. Anyway, they decided to take off, but then on the other hand, as well as the owner of the property has decided to not pay the mortgage, so this poor girl's been left, here on her own, wondering what the hell's going on, because the bank wants the property and she's been paying rent when she shouldn't have been paying rent, but she's been basically ripped off, and she's had 60 days to move out. They've been here for 4 years, and she suffers, she's got DHT. She can go from 0 to 100 real quick, right? Very anxiety, and I've been dealing with them and calming them down. And her boyfriend works in a very hard job, asphalt, during the day, and he's been helping her move of a night and using the boss's truck, and he had a bit of an accident with it, so the boss made him buy the truck, which I think is a bit unfair, especially for the truck it is. And we came around today, and we basically had to give, because they've had the 60 days plus 3 weeks. Now the bank just wants the property. The owner's gone. The bank just wants the property. And I understand that. And they've had time, And they have been a little bit, bit dragging their feet. But I mean, when you take into account that they've been in this area for 4 years, and, you make friends, don't you? In 4 years, you do. You're not going to be, you mightn't be the, you might know everyone in the street, but, you're definitely going to have some friends, in the area. And, they're a bit lost, they're a bit stressed. And we've had to come in and, hurry them up, and I helped them pack up some stuff, today. And I said, listen, just take what you want now. That all the bank wants is just to take what you want. I'll let you back in, all right, later. And anyway, they've got my number, and this is their stuff. I've moved. They're coming back, and so what I've done is I've helped them by, emptying the rooms for them and putting everything into the front room. I just have a problem with this bed, but anyway, so everything's there. So that's what I'm doing, and that's on my time. All right, I'm not getting paid for this. I don't want to get paid for this. I know when people get the raw end of the stick, I've had it. I'm sure we all have had it. But it brings me to another point. Why are people? I have a lot of. I shouldn't. What was I saying? I have friends. Okay, we all have friends. And they take their bikes or their cars to these mechanics and these specialists and everything else like that. And of course, I'm interested to hear how are they happy, what they do, And it always seems to become the case where they spend all this money on their bikes or their cars. They come around to me and they're telling me what it's doing. And I go out and have a look, and I tell them before I touch the car, I go, well, is this, or let me just have a look, and sure enough it is. I'll fix it up, and I fix it up, but this professional did the work. Like, for example, a friend of mine, he took his bike to quite a well-known motorcycle, dyno place, right? And, a bit like myself, I took my bike to a place, and it was $5,500. Now, for what I got, no, I was wanting something a bit different. I didn't think the person was so heavily reliant on Harley parts. I thought they'd go a bit, left wing, like right wing. Sorry, go S&S or there's thousands of different clutches and stuff like that. And of course, he turns around and he lands on Screaming Eagle. It's just like fucking hell. I thought there's better clutches out there. I wanted something different, I thought they were something different. And, I pick up the bike and, of course, I had a drama with it. It had an oil leak. Well, it turned out that, I had to fix it, but I rang him up. I said, I've got an oil leak. I've never had an oil leak for my bike, and they got all offensive. Well, why are you ringing me? Well, why the fuck wouldn't you think I'll ring you? You're the last one to touch the bike. You're the one I gave $5,500 to. Why wouldn't I ring you? It's like my other mate. He took his bike there and he's, making it didn't sound quite right. And anyway, I was washing it, I was changing the oil for him because he's got a bung hip. And I just happened to touch the air cleaner and it moved. And I thought, that shouldn't move. And I've opened it up and the bolts, the two breather bolts, one of them's fallen out. The O-ring's completely gone. It's gone through the engine. And that bolt's just rattling around in there. Now, there's an O-ring on either side. That bolt should never work itself loose. And if it has worked itself loose, it's because it wasn't tightened properly. Simple as that. Imagine if that bolt had got into the butterfly and he's cruising along at 60 and, a bit of heavy traffic. But this is the thing. You tell the dealers, you go back, you pick up your bikes, and this is to the dealers. These people mightn't be mechanics, yeah? Right, but they know their bike. Like, the husband doesn't have to be a gynecologist to know his wife's fucking, his wife's, downstairs part, does he? He knows it. So if it's not right, he knows better than the gynecologist. He's the one to ask. He probably knows more about it than fucking she does. Right? So when these people pick up their bikes, I've seen it before. I've been in the same boat. That wasn't there before. Oh, no, it didn't handle like this, it didn't right. Oh, no, you don't. No, you know what? Don't bullshit. Don't bullshit. Just do the job. If you scratch the bike, say something. If the part's not in, say something. I won't leave the bike. The parts aren't in, I'm not leaving the bike then. I'm dropping the bike in for a one-day turnaround, not a fucking week turnaround. Be honest, mate. Jesus Christ, everyone goes, fucking dollar, and then they want to squeeze more out of you. Oh, we had to get this, and, this is screws, so it's 50 cents. Fucking hell. Fucking bullshit. Just like with my Beamer. You all saw the steam and everything. Well, the head's gone. I told him. And it's, it's just like I said to Mary, it's not worth the argument, mate. So I went down there and I said, no, that money that we gave you, he said, you're going to give us half. I found a place that's going to do it, right? You know what? No, just give me half of that and that's it. You'll never see me again. He's gone, Justin, what do you mean? I said, mate, it's not worth the fight, mate. The car came in here with not even a coolant problem. I just wanted a new power steering pump. And as that turned out, I didn't get that. You gave me new belts. You were telling me the belts were slipping. And then that overheated. Then it came back and he broke the fan. And then the fan from that, because he broke the fan, he actually hit the expansion tank. So that cracked. If the bloke had said that he broke the fan at the start, we would have caught all of this. We wouldn't have done the head. So the head's going to come off on the Beamer. And, might have to be helicoiled because they are prone to, with those engines, when they warp, they can pull the threads, where the thread's in the block. But just bullshit. You just broke a fan blade, that's it. You broke a fin off a clutch fan. Fuck. Now look, it's gone from fucking $90 to $5,000. We've all been there. We've all taken our bikes somewhere and we're not quite impressed with it, stuff like that. We expected a bit more, or, something, I don't know, not a kiss on the dick. That's for the missus, mate. Or in this day and age, for the boyfriend, who knows, maybe for me Furby. Right? But I'm sick and tired of hearing my friends and just people around me in conversation, and they're not happy. And it's still got the original problem. And they don't bring it up. You know why? Because they're made to feel as though they're the problem. You dealers, you mechanics, fix the fucking problem. Stop creating them. And as for these dyno charges, my fucking God, mate. Fucking $1,300. What are you doing, mate? Fucking hell. Putting Napoleon on the bike? For fuck's sake. $1,300. Fuck. And that's no parts. You're just thrashing me bike. Because that's what you're doing. Thrashing it. Kicking it in third or in fourth. And I've seen them, mate. Rip clutches apart. Fucking hell. Why can't you just roll them up nice? Why do you have to load the fucking thing up? You're only taking the dyno count from the fucking down tube when it rolls off anyway. No, why they need you smack the shit out of the bottom end on the fucking takeoff? Fucking hell. You know? Some people are just full of fucking shit. Hey? Fucking over it, mate. People are doing it hard. Everyone's doing it hard. We go in there, loyal customers. We've bought the bike from you, or we've come to another place, you know? And they're fucking, why can't you just get the things right? People spend good money. You know, good money. And let me tell you, people have to work hard for it these days. Taxes are going up. Registration, we're paying fucking almost $1,000 for a goddamn fucking Harley to be on the road. And we've got a car. And we've got a missus. You know? Fucking hell. Can we just have a little bit of... Can we have a little bit of money left over so we can get some, KY gel and have a bit of a knock-off in the garage on our own? Fucking Christ. I'm sick of it, mate. Like people, dealers go, why you come to me like that? Well, did I just give you $5,500? Yeah. That's got an oil leak. I've ridden it all the way back to Melbourne. Why wouldn't I ring you? Who do you want me to ring? Holler for a fucking Marshall? Well, Marshall didn't work on the fucking bike. It's like my other mate. He's just had a kit put through. Now it's going through oil. That's because their back cylinders, the same thing. You either flush them with fuel, cools them down, or they're done with oil. And it's no need. Change the part. Don't go Harley. Put S&S in the back. S&S push rods, S&S Veltrain. Fuck, like for the money he gave, I said to him, why didn't you get a kit? You could have got an S&S kit for that. This is another thing, you Harley dealers, you're not telling people, mate. You're making them buy their product, and it's bullshit, mate. You blokes, you go on about your fucking Harleys and shit like that, when it comes to the jet bikes or, Ducatis or whatever like that, they help you out, mate. Look at a Desmo Sedici, mate. That's I don't care what you all think, right? The fucking thing's worth $170,000 all day, every day, right? And they know not to fuck around, because the people who buy them know everything on the outside of the casings, like your clutches and stuff. They're from other bikes. There's no need to be charging. They charge that amount, and the reason why it's paid off a Ducati. They gave a MotoGP bike to a bunch of blokes, a bunch of people, where you shouldn't put a GP bike, and that's in traffic. They overheat. But they got the parts back, and they tested the parts. That's why Ducati's so dominant. Well, I've held out long enough, and I've still got my bike, and I'm riding it. And I've done the 24,000 k's on it, been reset, and guess what? I've got the only Ducati that's full Ducati. Every other Ducati out there that's got put more horsepower and this and that, they've got a piggyback. Boomf. Like a dyno jet tune, piggybacked onto it. Mine's got no piggyback. Mine's all Ducati tuned. Hey? Like that one? Right. And I've got a Goldwing tyre in the back. Yeah, great. I can do 10,000 burnouts if I want. You know what? And I can still ride the fucking thing fast. You know why? Because I know what's on the back. I know it's slippery. So I ride it to where I can still ride it. But you dealers, stop ripping us off. Do the job. Stop with the fucking commercial of my car. They lied. They lied. I spoke to the owner. I said, I'm not upset with you. I said, but a lot of people would say it comes from the top, doesn't it? Filters down. Mate, I said someone should be getting the arse in the tin. He lied. Straight out lied. It's not right. Just fix people's stuff. Stop damaging. Or fucking, if you see something that's about to go out, tell them too. What happened to the fucking good old fucking 80-point check, you know? Fuck, when I bought my Harley from Peter Stevens, they fucking blew my engine up. Yeah? They fucking, you know, I rode it up to Darwin, and then I came back from Darwin, and I'm going through the Mulla Tunnel, yeah? And I hear this, well, I knew straight away, it's a lifter, right? It's seized, right? But the damage was already done before you hear it, right? But when the lifter seizes, it's supposed to seize, yeah? That's what seizing means, it's seized. I was getting it at the right rev and going, stick it over nice. What the fuck? Blimped it all the way home. Got home, pulled it apart, videotaped it, went into Harley, rang him up. I said, I've already pulled it apart, I've diagnosed it, I know what it is. Right, it's a lifter. But what I found out was, and mine's a CVO. I reckon I was a bit pissed, mate, not because I put an engine kit through, right? So I bought a CVO. They don't come with a high flow oil pump. I put an engine kit through it at 117. You reckon that came with an oil pump? But hang on a minute, mine's a Street Glide, the one with the water-cooled heads. Every other fucking idiot out there who's buying that same kit gets heads. I don't get heads, right? So why don't they throw me a high-performance oil pump? Nah. Then I find out they're just standard screaming eagle fucking things, but no high-flow oil pump. And I didn't get adjustable push rods. How's that fucking work? How's that fucking work? Fuck. Then I find out, because I'm thinking it's the lifter, yeah? Right, anyway, they call me up and they go, oh, you need a new crank. I said, oh, really? All right, I'll be in tomorrow. Don't do anything. I'll walk in there and I'll look at me crank. And I knew it was my bike and I'm just going, oh, you know when it's your shut and you're just going, oh, no. Anyway, on either side, right, about that far apart, and this side and here, there's two wear marks. What they done, whoever did it, didn't spin the crank and torque tighten it, and it's gone on like this. So it's been putting pressure on all my cases. I stood there and I looked at it and I went, oh yeah, nice. I said, put it back together. This is what I actually said to Theo at Peter Stevens. I said, put it back together. The head mechanic was there the whole lot. I said, put it back together. I said, what? I said, yeah, I'll come back in 5 years. You'll still be paying for it. I said, that's human error. That's not part. That's human error. Whoever did this bike, right, didn't torque the crank down properly, torque the oil pump onto the crank properly. And not only that, I had a lot of problems with the kit when they put it on. Fucking hell, mate. The fucking shit. I had my bike, I'll tell you, it's all there, right? In the time from 2021, I bought my 2016. If you add up the whole time it had been in the shop, 18 months all up. 18 fucking months. 18 months. And that's supposed to be okay? That's not okay. Fuck. I made sure I got a set of brake pads, I got a set of tyres, and I got to pay for reg. I said to them, I said, you know what, the bike's sitting there? The best part was when the mufflers kept on falling off. Oh, that was fantastic. You know, picked up the bike after they had it for almost 12 months. Right? This is before it went to Collins. I'm coming onto the ring road. Coming on, you know. Boof, and the muffler blows off, the right-hand one. Fucking hell. Bang, pull over. I just picked the bike up. Mind you, that night when I picked the bike up, the air filter came off. They had the bike that long that if they went to work and said, I'm going to tighten up 110 mil, just one thing, every day, everything on that bike would have been tightened. Just tells you they did nothing. They did nothing. I caught my air filter in my hand. And then the next day, the other muffler fell off. Oh, mate, you know. I rode in there, I said to Theo, this is a joke, mate. And then when it came to the stereo part of it, this little French-Canadian prick thought he knew it all. He didn't know shit. I said, stop using the USB line. You got to plug in to the proper 6-channel, the 6-pin, not the USB. You can't do nothing on the USB, right? Because I didn't have my tyre go flat come up on the screen, which it had. It was the CVO. Oh, no, you don't. I said, listen, you've just said I don't have the program, yeah? But I've got the hardware. It's telling me in analog, you dickhead. They had this French bloke, barely spoke English. He's listening. He's gone downstairs. He comes back up. He goes, come here. Right. I'll never forget his name, Phil. That was a dickhead, Phil. Thought he knew it all from Canada. And as he's walking in, he's going, oh, you could have given me a day or two. You know, he threw me under the bus. Give you a fucking day or two. You're the fucking master tech, mate. You should know. You should only be getting an hour. Anyway, he's turned around, he's plugged me bike in, he's got everyone to watch, and he goes, look there. And I said to this about 2 hours ago, I said, it's going to be as simple as doing this. Beep. And it was. This German bloke found it. Goes, beep, there up. Comes up and looked at Phil going, oh yeah. Needed a day or two, did you? This bloke can barely speak English, understood what I'm saying, and he's found it on my bike. Good on yous. And as for Peter Stevens in Ringwood, you pricks, I broke a speaker wire, yeah? A speaker wire. You charged me $180, and you said you got your master tech on it. You kept me bike there deliberately for an hour. You know what happened to just the niceness? I wonder people are so fucking scared to take their car or their bike back to a mechanic or the dealer. You know, when we purchased our BMW, even though it was second hand, we took it to fucking Southern BM. They put it on the computer. You know what they told us? It only done 80,000. But the BMW dealer, right, hadn't done the correct job because the car logs it. So the dealers don't do anything. Fucking hell, mate. You know, but you pay this money. Why don't you just tell us at the start? Just give us the money, mate. We're not going to do the fucking job. Keep the car, mate. You know, I had a mate, an old mate. He was a good mechanic. You know, they come in and he goes, oh, I put the car in the service. Oh, what's it doing? And he'd ask him, what's it doing? I was running a bit rough. All right, okay. You got 10 minutes? Yeah, all right. He'd get in the car. He'd give it. This was in the day when it was carbies, yeah? Right? Come back, the thing's purring. He said, you just got to get on and get. You got to give it a bit of a clean. Like the missus, give her a bit of a go, you know? And that. With Ferrari, mate. Same thing. Any car, like high performance cars like my Desmo, open chamber, you know, you got to get them out. The carbon builds up. You got to clean them, mate. Give a fuck. You fucking putt around on it, you're killing it. You know, but you people, you rip us off, mate. Fuck. Harley parts, fucking Christ, you know, they're fucking shit. You know, I asked for the chrome covers, you know, yeah? And the bloke said, no, yeah, here. And he threw them, they were in a bag, chrome covers, and I was like fucking thinking there. And they hit the glass. I said, are they plastic? And he's going, yeah. I said, get the fuck out of here. And he said, they got sticky bits on the end. Fucking sticky bits on the inside. My mate got metal ones from Thailand, and they got magnets, mate. And they were cheaper. Fuck. You know? Jesus Christ. But I'm over it, mate. You know? Fucking over it. People getting ripped off. Fucking this, you know? You know, I told them to go get an ice cream, you know, just to calm down a bit, you know. They're young, they'll be right, but it's still hard. I know that. I'm sure we all know that. But for those people out there, you know, I said to this mechanic, you know, with my car, I said, you know, well, I'm not the type of person who does this. I said, normally I don't say anything, I'll just never come back. But I said, you got my missus for tyres, $1,400. Because we used to get our tyres there, and she went back there, and Mark's gone, and she's walked straight in the Lion's Den. Oh, well, we're here now, and, you know, we can do the same, you know, blah, blah, blah. That car, I love that car, mate. Yeah. It's only a bit of, you know, what do they say? But it's an achievement. It's like that Desmo. It's like Glenn's bike, you know. The monkey bike. My Harley. Yeah, you know. They're just things. But to me, and many other people who own them, they're more than things. That's the thing, you know, like, you know, people who've, you know, like for Danny, example, right? You know, it's all good and well. He can go around Australia and around the world and stuff like that. I'm not making Danny at all, but I'm just saying what Danny did. All right, in some cases it was he showed that you can go anywhere on a Harley. That's right, and that But not everyone can do it like he did, and that's, risk dropping the bike, damaging the bike, because we love our bikes. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't treat my bike like that. There's no way, no way. And I said, and plus, I don't have the money to fix it, I don't have an endless bank account. So I could go on the same trips, but I'd be a lot carefuler and stuff. And that's the thing, people hold possessions great, like I love the old pewter, fine china stuff, and that, the girls, and all the mugs, or just the fine china stuff. It just reminds me of my grandma, when I was a kid. Possessions, mate. Some people's possessions, that's all they love, and that. So for you people who are taking people's money to fix people's bikes or cars, or, fix their house, do the fucking right thing, mate. Do a proper job, mate. Go in there. If you break something, tell them. Fix it. It's on you. You did it. Don't fucking put it back on them and their own shit. Oh, go get a pie. Thanks for listening to me. And can you please do this? Can you like and subscribe? Okay? That's it. Okay. But can you start leaving some comments? I like the comments. It's good. Good or bad, I don't give a shit. And that. Tell me what you're feeling. Alright? It helps me. Alright? It really does. When you leave comments. Okay? So just leave a fucking comment. Go get a pie. Take care. Love you all.